God damn. I need to sleep better. This is not cutting it. This is such a terrible way to start the video, but I kind of don't care. It's okay. I put on my glasses and I was like, oh, I can see like every speck of dust and every bit of oil and every single fucking thing on my glasses. And with that, hi YouTube. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my Q&A video. I really just kind of got on the train of posting regularly on YouTube again. The last time I did that, I was in high school and I did Miku Miku Dance. And if you knew me then, no you didn't. But yeah, I decided that I was like, you know what, my YouTube is growing. As of right now, it actually looks like that my YouTube is sitting very pretty at about 17.2 thousand followers. That's a lot of people to be looking at me. But hi everyone, welcome. How you doing? Grab a chair, you can sit anywhere, grab a snack, and let's get this show on the road. I posted 2 posts on my community page on my YouTube asking for questions because I knew that a lot of people were gonna be wanting to ask me things, and you guys did not disappoint. I got a couple of questions. A few of them were repeats, but I'm also going to be going over things that people have kind of asked me in general on TikTok as my stuff has grown on there, because there's definitely been questions there, but not a dedicated section for the questions. So we're going to like just hop right into it. One of the first questions I got is, how long have I been cosplaying? Technically speaking, I've been cosplaying since I was 13 years old. I went to my first convention when I was 13 and I cosplayed as Shippuden Hinata Hyuga from Naruto, and pictures of them exist. They are not on the internet. My parents have them. If I ever get a hold of them, who knows if I'll put them on the internet. It's like I bought a jacket and I borrowed some pants and shoes from my mom, and I didn't have a Naruto headband at the time, so like we had like found like a Naruto belt buckle and we had very poorly sewn it onto a headband that I wore around my neck, as Hinata does. Do you guys think I should change the lighting? I think I'm gonna change the lighting actually. Do I have any pets, and what breed and what coat? So I have a little gray boy. I'm gonna put a picture right here of him. His name is Gravy. He's about 2 years old. He's a barn cat. His mama was a little feral, and we don't know who his dad is. Because the rest of his siblings, he has a black sibling, and then the other 3 look like his mom. So he's definitely one of the outliers, but he's also the biggest one. He's the second born, so he's kind of a bully. He's 2 years old, and we think he's a Prussian blue, but we're not entirely sure. And is Julie. She is my first pet. Drew, my fiance, has known Julie since she was just a kitten. She's about 14 years old, and she is a Maine Coon Calico, runt of the litter, and she's between the ages of 14 and 16 years old. She's definitely like an older cat, but she does not act like it very often. She still kind of chases me around the room, not even like in a serious way, like she's gonna hurt me, but just like in a playful way, which I think is really funny. Good for her. Good for her. Those are my pets. What inspired me to continue cosplaying after I started it? I just thought it was really fun. After I did my first convention, I was in 8th grade. I didn't really pick up cosplaying again until later on in high school, where I started cosplaying from Hetalia. Yeah, that, unfortunately. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on who you ask. When I was into it, when I got into Hetalia, it was about 2010, so I was 14, 15 years old when that happened. And I just had fun. It was really fun to put on different clothes, disappear into a character, just kind of interact with different people that I probably never would have interacted with otherwise. Not that there wasn't, you know, people and weebs and stuff at my school. I just didn't really like those kinds of people, and I was also a very terminally online child. Thanks, DeviantArt. Thanks, Tumblr. And so I ran a couple of Tumblr ass blogs. None of them were really like all that like successful. As I hopped into Homestuck, which is where I met my fiance, I started cosplaying a lot more, and I got a roll with it. I was doing a lot of cosplay, and then I stopped for about 2 years because I just didn't have time to do it. And then I started getting into it again after I started using TikTok more often. But it's just really fun. That's why I do it. It's really fun. And as I've gotten better with my makeup and wigs and clothes and figuring out how to pose and wearing all that stuff, it's just been a lot more fun. What is your favorite cosplay so far? And what cosplay am I hoping to do in the future? There's a lot of cosplays that I've done, and I've said that lots of different ones are my favorites. I would have to say that the rendition of Daisy that I do for Ken and Cade's TikToks, she's definitely a fave. It's very hard to say that a cosplay has been my favorite. There was an outfit that I designed for Crocker Corp Jane that was kind of inspired by like burlesque, like bourgeois kind of stuff. I had a giant fan and everything. I had painted it on it and said obey, and on the sides it said consume. It was you know, it was kind of fun. I don't have that fan anymore, but I don't have any of that cosplay anymore, but it was a really fun cosplay. I also really enjoyed being Grimdark Rose with, like, you know, the black dress and everything. That one was very fun. And I also, she's a new one, but I really enjoy being Junko. Junko fucking Enoshima, you know, whatever. I'm not one of those people who could do the, like, you know, I can't, I can't do it. It's, you know, do. Yeah. That's about as good as I can do it. Who's my favorite Mario character besides Daisy? Rosalina? Because I would play Mario. When we first got Mario Kart, I made a point to sit down and speed run it so that I could get Rosalina so I could play as her. But I also like baby Rosalina. She's very cute. I like the baby versions of the princesses, but gun to my head, besides Daisy, it's gonna have to be Rosalina. How come when you are with Dino Bunny's cosplay, your Daisy cosplay looks different? Because I'm wearing the cosplay that Cade owns. That wig and that dress, they are Cade's. He is going to cosplay Daisy. But they asked me to come be Daisy for a bit to help them with 3-man scenes, and that's why it looks different. I still like my OG Daisy cosplay, and it's not that they don't like it. They just want me to wear that for continuity's sakes, and also I look really good in it. Like, really good. So that's why it looks different and why it's not at my house, it's at their house. I see someone here has been sneaking around. Either you have been going through my other videos, or you subscribed to me a long time ago and have suddenly seen it again. It's asking me, why did I stop, or rather, why did I give up animation? And I would not say that it was animation. It was more of animatics. If you go back and look in my actual videos, you will see them there. I just don't really have time to sit down and do it. I've always been an artist. I've always been into drawing and all of that, but it takes a lot of time, and I don't really have that time. If I didn't have to work my full-time job and also take care of house duties and stuff like that, I probably still would be doing it. But at this point in time, it's not something that I'm really doing. And also a couple of the newer ones were inspired by a D&D campaign that is no longer happening, which makes me sad. It's finished. The campaign finished. We tied it all up, but that was a big source of inspiration for the animations that you see. Do I see myself doing more stuff besides cosplaying on my platform? I don't really think so. I mean, the other thing is the other thing I could think of is some people have said you should take up vlogging, you should do this, you should do that. I don't know what else I'm gonna use this platform for. This is really just my creative outlet. I think it is going to mostly stay a cosplay channel with makeup tips every so often. Maybe the occasional vlog if I can get into that. I was never really into the whole vlogging thing. There was maybe one vlogger I was really into, and she doesn't have a YouTube anymore. I still follow her on all her other platforms. Rachel Whitehurst, if you're out there and you see this, I love you. I love you so much. She's so funny. She's so great. Would you ever do a hot Wario to cosplay to match Dino Bunny's hot Waluigi? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. If you're in the Patreon, you already know. How long does it take for me to change into my cosplay? It really depends on what character it is. For example, my Pirate OC Sunny, who I haven't really had time for because my Dawn also has not really had time for it. No animosity, just no time. She doesn't take very long. She takes half an hour tops because I don't wear foundation. I don't wear concealer. Most of that goes into putting on freckles, darkening around my eyes, eyebrows, and just kind of making sure I look kind of like, you know, grungy and like a pirate. I wouldn't even say 30 minutes, maybe 15 minutes tops for her. But then for other things that are a lot more complicated that require me to put in contacts beforehand and everything else, it takes me anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half depending on who it is. Makeup is an art. What's my most favorite part of the Daisy cosplay? I would have to say it's probably doing my lips, my big over-exaggerated pout. That is one of my favorite, I would say that's my favorite part, because drawing on the lips is so like therapeutic, because I just like, I don't do anything. I'm just drawing it on. And it's nice. I have to be the lips because it's the lip liner. Maybe I'll add a little bit of lipstick, and then I add on a lip gloss to make me all shiny and pouty. My lip gloss that I use smells like vanilla cupcakes and it smells delicious. How did you meet Love Bunny and Dino Graveyard? I met them on TikTok. I had been scrolling through TikTok when I lived in North Carolina, and I was just kind of bored and just scrolling through it. One of Ken's Princess Peach videos popped up, but it was about a very, very old one, like OG. This was like in March of 2021, of Peach banishing someone and being an evil queen. And I was like, all right, kept scrolling. And she kept coming onto my For You page. She just kept appearing. And I was like, okay, I'll bend. I'll go hang out. I'll see what all the fuss is about. Let me see what's going on in here. And then I was just like, oh, there's a series. Oh, there's another guy. There's another guy here. There's a guy here. Oh, I'm invested. Oh, you can duet things on this app? Okay. So that's how I met him on TikTok, and we got Discords. We were in a little server that doesn't exist anymore together for a while, and then we just started talking a lot more on Instagram, and we just clicked. Ken and I have a lot of similar thoughts and a lot of similar interests. Like we were into a lot of the same things when we were younger, and she just is so. She's great. I love her. Now, as for the Kate part of that, about the same thing kind of happened. We again have similar interests. We didn't really have, I would say, hi Gravy. That's Gravy, by the way. He's making biscuits. He's making biscuits. One of the first things that Kate ever said to me was talking about how he said he had noticed that I was engaged and had sent me a list of like places that I might want to look at for a reception, and I thought that was very kind and very sweet. It was like literally like our first like one-on-one private interaction. I forgot what it was called. Oh, Jesus. So that's what happened with that. I met both of them for the first time in real life in September of 2021. I flew back to California to visit my family, which is where I ultimately made the decision that I was going to move back to California. I went and I visited them. I spent the night at their house, and I was like, I have to come back. And now we live 20 minutes away from each other, and I go and see them like at least like twice a month. At least twice a month I see them. I've already seen them 3 times this month. How much money have you spent on cosplay in total? If I'm really throwing a number out there, it's definitely a couple $1,000s over time, because of simply every single thing that I have bought for cosplay. And that's not even like just like pre-made cosplays. When I was a Homestuck cosplayer, there was no pre-made cosplay. There was no, like, the shirts. Sure, you could get the shirts. That was about it. That was all you could get at that time. So you really had to make all of your stuff from scratch or closet cosplay it or something. But definitely, like, I would say it's no less than $1,000 that I spent on cosplay and cosplay supplies and stuff. And wigs are expensive. You want to be in the video? Don't mind him. He's chilling. He's a good boy. How many conventions have I been to? I'm going to say between 25 and 50. And I'm counting that in the year in the terms of repeat cons. Because there's cons that I've been to several times. Like, I've been to Fanime like 4 times. To Fanime, I've been to Anime Expo. I've been to SAC Anime several times. I've been to very small cons, very small cons. But yeah, definitely I'd say I've been to like 25 to 50 conventions, somewhere between that range. What's my favorite anime? I can't really pick a favorite. However, if you look at my top 5, it's definitely like, are you okay? And the answer is no. But I would have to say that my top 5 would have to be Naruto, not Boruto. I haven't even touched it and I don't plan to. Flowers of Evil. Don't read or watch this unless you are like heavily prepared for some like nonsense tomfoolery. Like there's some weird shit happening in this anime. Weird shit, but it's good. Princess Tutu. Love Princess Tutu. I've watched it like 3 times all the way through. It's such a comfort anime for me, and it's just so sweet, and it's so nice, and it's so cute, and it's so good. It's just so good, and I do be relating to some of the characters a little too hard. JoJo! I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. I've done 2 cosplays, right? I haven't watched part 6 yet. I've watched like the first 2 episodes and then life happened and I haven't really had time to like sit down and watch all of it. But I know all of it's out on Netflix, so my fiance and we have to make plans to sit down and watch that. Number 5, Osomatsu-san. Really like that. I was not in that fandom for as long as I had been in other fandoms. I would say I was very steeped and deep in it for about 2 to 3 years. But I was deep in it. I mean, I had charms, I have merch, I owned 3 of the brothers hoodies. I have Osomatsu's, I have Karamatsu's, and I have Choromatsu's. Choromatsu one is technically my fiance's, but it's a teensy bit small. But we have all of those. And I also cosplay from it. I cosplayed as Totoko. Totoko Yowai, she's so cute. Well, how do I feel about musicals? I think musicals are fine. I think they're fun. I wouldn't call myself a musical geek. Like, I was not a theater kid at all, not even in the slightest growing up. That was my brother. But I think musicals are fun. I'm gonna get some torches for this one. So I like Mean Girls. I like Heathers. I like Dear Evan Hansen. Oh, I forgot what it's called. I gotta look it up. Be More Chill. Just kidding, I figured it out. Be More Chill. I enjoy some songs from Chicago. I enjoy some songs from Moulin Rouge. Hairspray is a bop. The SpongeBob musical slaps. I don't give a fuck if anyone thinks it's silly. It's good. It's a good musical. It's got they got like big Billboard artists to write songs for this. They got David Bowie on it. They got Lady Antebellum. They got Panic at the Disco. Like, they had some cool people writing the music for this, and I think they did a fantastic job honoring the series, because SpongeBob is honestly really good. You know, before most of the seasons, before the first movie, and a few after that. How do I feel about furries? I think they're neat. I think they're very neat. I like Beastars. I've cosplayed Princess Carolyn. You think I don't like furries? Furries are cool. What are some tips for people that want to start doing cosplay? Start small. Definitely start small. Work your way up to being more grand, I would say, especially if you're younger. If you have skills that can translate into cosplay, like making props because of like some sort of like woodworking or welding or anything that you know, definitely maybe lean to making a small prop. Maybe playing with Eva foam, or like, you know, making jewelry, or seeing if you can, you know, just like make like a simple arm bracer. These are all things I can't do, by the way. With your makeup, start not cheap, but inexpensive. Definitely do drugstore first, because I can tell you a lot of my makeup is drugstore. I buy e.l.f. and I buy Maybelline, and I buy L'Oreal, and I buy Milan, and I buy Revolution, but I will never, ever, ever, ever buy drugstore foundation because I have my Perfect Shade by Fenty. It is almost $40 for a foundation, I think. I use e.l.f. for my black eyeliner. I also use e.l.f. primer, and I've used e.l.f. setting spray. e.l.f. is like extremely good. You just gotta hunt for the good bits. I can tell you right now, their liquid eyeliner and their pen eyeliner, and a couple of their eyeshadows. Some of their concealer right here is very good. I don't use the concealer because I use a Maybelline one. LA Colors is a very inexpensive brand. I have a color corrector that I just recently started using because I'm very bad about my acne and stuff, so I have a lot of dark spots that I gotta cover with color correcting, and it's phenomenal, and I believe it's like less than 10 bucks for that little tube that I like barely like used up, even maybe half of it at this point. However, my white eyeliner is by Kimchi Beauty, and it's beautiful and it's great, and Ken and Kate bought it for me as a little Christmas present, and it was very sweet, and it's really, really good. It's formulated for drag queens. Y'all like Trixie Mattel? We love her here. All right, that's all fun and games, but let's get to some of like the really odd questions I get about my relationship. We already know who they are, which is, one, how did you feel about finding out that Ken had a partner? Good for her. Just a weird question. Do you feel that you are underrated or overrated? I feel like I can be a little overrated because I get a lot of comments that are like, you're the only Daisy cosplayer I've ever seen, which is not true. I'm not the only Daisy cosplayer on this forsaken earth. I love other Daisy cosplayers. I love seeing other Daisies. They're so cute. I love it. Daisies, love you. This is for you. Love you. Love Daisy cosplayers. I would definitely, it is nice to have the attention. Like, I'm not gonna lie, attention's great. Attention feels nice. Sometimes it kind of sucks when people are like, I don't like other Daisy cosplayers. You're the only Daisy cosplayer I like. And I'm just like, hey now, I'm mutuals with a couple of Daisy cosplayers, and I love their stuff. They're freaking awesome. Some of the stuff that they come out with is like truly like insane and incredible. If anyone messes with you, I will come after them because I'm very protective over my mutuals. Something else I've gotten asked is, how has becoming as big as I am affected me physically and emotionally? And that is, well, I did not expect this in the slightest, because I know people go viral and stuff. I'm no Brittany Broski. I'm no Bella Porch. And I'm no Sarah Shower. All people I love. But it was a little jarring to get to 10K followers in 1 week when I've never even had more than 1,500 followers on any sort of social platform. Even my YouTube, when I started, I've had this thing since 2006. There were no ads. It was a lawless land. You could do whatever you wanted. At the most I had ever amassed was about maybe 370 subscribers, even when I was uploading stuff that I made on MMD all the time. I didn't really pass anything until I started posting more of my cosplay stuff in November of 22, and suddenly everyone's here again. Then after, you know, that all dies out, I still get a significant amount of people following me. So it's kind of insane. So thank you everyone for that. It's kind of wild. But it's also weird because, you know, I explain it to people and they're like, oh, you're a TikToker. And it's, oh, well, like, you should just like quit whatever job you're doing and do it full time. One, no. It does not pay that much. It's the only platform I'm really monetized on. I just recently got monetized on Instagram, but even then it's not enough to live off of right now. That's really all the questions we have to answer today. Maybe I'll do another Q&A later on if you guys want to ask other things that aren't related to cosplay. That's not shade, by the way. That's just, I know that's what everyone knows me for, and they're just kind of really getting to know me as a creator. But this was fun. This was awesome. I'm going to get food now because I'm hungry and I want to sit down and watch The Circle. Thank you so very much for watching this video. Thank you for everyone who sent me questions. It was really great to like see that people were actually interested in getting to know me like behind the Daisy, which is awesome and really cool. Go ahead and follow me on all of my socials right here. I have a link tree listed on all of my websites, which is where I'll listing things that you can support me on. I've got coupon codes there. My Amazon wish list is there. My coffee, all of that kind of stuff. Thank you so very much for watching this video, and I will see you guys very soon.